Hello, everyone. How do you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Very good, very good. So, dear Scale Swappers, this is our first try with new streaming software, OneStream. I hope we will not have too much technical bugs, but let me just start. As you know, I'm Stan, co-founder and CTO of ScaleSwap, and I am really happy to introduce one amazing startup called Bossfighters. Here we have two team members, Vadim and Evgeny. And guys, please introduce yourself. Feel free to share initial pitch deck, so elevator pitch. What's about is Bossfighters, how you come to this idea, why you are doing this at all. The community will be very interested. So stage is yours.
Sure, sure. Uh, okay, so let me just check if the audio is okay. Yeah, I guess everything's fine. So my name is Vadim. I'm CEO and founder at Boss Fighters, actually founder of the gaming studios that is behind Boss Fighters. I'm also founder of two other companies, a game development company, a VR development company, and this is our first installment in the Web3 gaming space, and where we bring in our experience as a game developers, as a VR developers, and some experience as a blockchain developers into Web3, and we're trying to do this through a very unique concept. So this is literally world's first VR and PC action game with digital assets. So this is what Boss Fighters is all about. So we're trying to achieve here a few goals. So first of all, we believe that the one single reason why GameFi will succeed is by having a really engaging and interesting games in the first place. So you need to ask yourself a question: would you pay these developers like a penny, a bucks, a few bucks to play their game? So if you don't want to pay them anything, that means this game is it won't work. So the games won't work on itself just by paying you something. It has to be like a really fun experience in the first place. That's how gaming industry works. That's what we're trying to do. This is like the gameplay first principles approach. So we're trying to create this product, this game where a huge VR boss is controlled by a VR player, and it fights against a bunch of flat screen players or PC players or flat screen players as we call them, and there's gladiator style fights. So really wacky, crazy fights where you can do all sorts of crazy things like destroy everything, crush. So we want to make this game a spectacle in itself. We want to make it as fun as possible, and because we're leveraging VR technology, there is virtually endless possibilities for the replayability because it's a real opponent, real human, not an AI controlled bot. So there is a lot of layers in this project, and this is just tip of the iceberg. So this elevator pitch.
Okay, very good, very good. So you was literally very long elevator, long, but it's okay. It's very good, very inspiring. First, I understand that not your first game, right? You have already a game studio. You have experience in developing games, so you are not a newbie team just for fun developing some games. This is correct, right?
Correct, correct. Actually, I'm like 10 years in the game development industry. As I mentioned, we have other company that is like game co-development, outsourcing studio where we do graphics, virtual production, Unreal Engine development. We worked on indie titles, on AAA titles, like
Oh, really?
major gaming studios. We have really big talents in our team from like all over the world, but mostly from Ukrainian developers that work on
Of
Stalker,
course.
on Metro Exodus. Yeah, so we really have a great team here, and I think that's one of the biggest advantages of our studio.
This is a very important topic you raise because my personal problem with crypto gaming was always that it was not about gaming at all.
Yeah,
It's more about how to earn some pennies by sitting in front of computer. So it was not about fun. And I'm really happy to see that professional game developers entering this field. But important would be to understand how you think about to make the game sustainable in terms of Web3. Why this game should be interesting for, let's say, Web2 players and for Web3 players? Or are you planning to convert some Web2 players to Web3 players? So how you think about this?
Exactly. That's how we see ourselves. I'd like to call ourselves as a Web 2.5 game. That means we're building this game primarily for Web 2 players, but given like the using clever game design decisions and providing them tools to onboard to crypto, we can build this bridge and bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. So first of all, it is the ownership aspect, and this is where the industry is heading. So that's why we decided, why don't we start doing it right away? So, I believe that in 5 years, most of games, like when the big capital really comes into play, like really big studios start pouring millions of dollars, we will see a lot more like Web3 games. But they will not be organized in a way that we saw this year and last year, which in my opinion was pretty detrimental for the whole market. Like this Ponzi-nomic schemes that are not working. Yeah, it's just not
Come
sustainable.
on,
These
it's crypto, right? I mean, we have great minds, great projects on the one side. On the other side, there's people hunting for greed, right? So it's unfortunately our space, and I hope um, this time this crypto winter will make a clearance on bad actors. It should like this.
that always happens during the bear market. So and as we progress through and the crypto space matures, we'll see like a lot more professional investors, a lot more professional companies that trying to build something in the space. And actually, if we just track the investments in the market, we can see that almost 60% right now is everything is GameFi related. So investments are actually going into GameFi, which means that these big companies they think that GameFi and gamified experience is the way to onboard more people to Web3 to crypto, because this is like a clear path for them. So here's the game: build a game that players really enjoy playing. Build an ownership aspect so they can own NFTs, tap into the transaction fees on the marketplaces. Yeah, everyone is trying to do something like Steam has this uh, marketplace with the skins for their weapons, etc. So there's like an established business model here, but with a blockchain, you can solve it in a much better way. You can open up to a lot more liquidity markets like interoperability, etc. So there is still a lot of things that need to be solved, but we don't want to like fix what's not broken. Just create a really cool, fun game. Give users a rights to own what they get in the game. Give them options to vote, to have some impact on the game, and give them options to earn something, but not like in a manner of Axie Infinity when you're trying to like.
Mhm.
So that's not how it works.
Okay, you raised very interesting aspect um, about players who can influence the game, and I suppose it's also connected to your tokenomics, to utility of your token somehow. Maybe you can explain us how your token plays a role in the game and
Yeah,
uh, this matter.
yeah, that's a really important question. So in Bossfighters, a utility token used in a multiple ways. So, and this all ties to several in-game features, in-game like, staples that we have. This is the asymmetrical, unique aspect. This is what brings our game, elevates our game to a really new level. This is the creator's spot, and this is where this DAO voting system comes into play. So we want to bring fellow developers and creators to the ecosystem because we're not superhumans here. We cannot develop everything on our own. We just need to make tools for developers for them to use and monetize their creations. So let's say you see these characters on the screen. So we have a developed Unreal Engine 4 generator for these characters. So we can just ship these tools, release for public, and artists can create their own avatars, and then through DAO voting system, we might include into rewards pool these characters. We might offer a minting option of this NFT. So this is how creators can earn. Uh, that's one feature. Yeah.
Hmm. So, just to understand, so basically, the game is not it's not simple game. It's extendable by other mini games. So how should we understand this?
Yeah.
Or other people can create mods on this game, or
Yeah,
bring.
this only applies to the creation aspect, but there are actually a few other important things, important features in development. So one we call watch to earn. This is the system that is aimed to bring people in the ecosystem who not necessarily play the game, but maybe they cannot play the game for some reason. Maybe they just don't want to play the game. They are like backseat gamers that like to watch streams and follow their content creators. So, and we thought, how do we bring these people also into the ecosystem, and how do we tie token here? So the way it works, um, essentially, this is the system that creates cooperation between players and spectators. So if you're a player, if you're a content creator and you stream once in a while, or you're a regular content creator, you can link your streaming service account to Bossfighters account. And once you start streaming your game, we can track how many concurrent viewers you have on your stream watching this exact Bossfighters battle. And based on that number, we can increase your in-game rewards. So that's one thing. There's like a clear path like to progress quicker. For us, this gives us more exposure, more community. So spectators can also interact. They need to stake tokens in a special pool that unlocks this functionality. So spectators can participate in a few other game modes. So by also linking your account to Bossfighters account and watching streams, we can track how many hours of content you actually watched of
Oh,
Bossfighters.
that's
And
cool.
yeah, this is what is achievable through Twitch API. So there is all this stuff you can pull out from this API. So by watching this content, you receive special tickets, an on-chain asset that drops on your wallet, and you can then spend these tickets. So you need to stake tokens, and then you start generating these tickets when you watch the content, and then you can then you can use these tickets to participate in interactive game modes. So what actually Twitch API allows us, you can type chat commands. Let's say you type "help the boss," and a huge crate with weapons for the boss drops in the battle directly. So the
Wow.
users might interfere in the course of battle directly with this. Or they can use what we call mini bets. So they vote with these tickets to to win some rewards. So if they win, they essentially they bet these tickets against other spectators. And there's a small challenges that they need to guess what will happen next in the battle, and they don't know what will happen. And if they win, they get some tokens, or they get NFTs, or they get discounts in the marketplace. So they're not directly earning something, but they're getting value in the ecosystem this way, and they're adding value to the ecosystem, like in the form of NFTs.
Mhm. Maybe you should invent one new motto, like not play to earn, maybe make to earn, or create to earn, something like this. Something what can inspire people to see this as something new. Because uh, I mean, you raised this topic already, I know, but maybe you can in two sentence explain what is new in tokenomics design in comparison to Axie Infinity or in all
Yeah.
stylish crypto gaming.
Yeah. First of all, this is a single token deflationary model. So we see that two token models are not working. They're not sustainable at all. And because we are not a Web3 exclusive game, we don't need like two tokens. In those other games, you have this secondary token, which is inflationary. It basically acts as a soft currency, and soft currency it is like gold, energy, you name it. So a familiar concept to free-to-play games. So in our game, we don't need this. We'll have soft currency, but it is an off-chain asset. But the token works similar to the hard currency, and hard currency is what you purchase for your fiat money in free-to-play games. So, but in Boss Fighters, you can because it is a free-to-play game, it is available for everyone, and there will be a fiat payment support. So you can just go like buy this battle pass for, let's say, $12.99, but you also have an option to buy the same thing, the same value, cheaper, 30% cheaper, because but you need to pay in tokens. So
In
that is
your
like,
tokens. So basically,
yeah,
your tokens will or is also payment currency within the
yeah,
game, right?
yeah,
Also.
for the hard currency. So
Mhm.
just I'm gonna give you like a quick bullet points of how the token is, because there is really an extensive economy design behind this. And actually, we're gonna share an article today about the
Oh,
token utility with the grand scheme of things, how everything works. So I really encourage you to look at it
mm,
after the call. So the token is used in multiple ways. It is used as a hard currency, so you can directly purchase stuff with the token in the game. Consumables, battle pass. You can use the token to purchase items from the marketplace that players list on this marketplace. You use tokens to stake it. So you stake in a special staking pools, and these are not staking pools just for the sake of like APIs, but this will be there. But these are like game feature stake pools. So one unlocks you different upgrades, like speeds up your in-game progression, gives you more experience, gives you refresh your rewards pool quicker. The other pool unlocks different game mods, like I mentioned, like this interactive game mode with the spectators. It unlocks access to tournaments where you can actually earn some tokens in community organized tournaments. And the third pool is intended to be used as a teams, like a clans functionality, where the clan owner basically stake tokens and you get rewards for for the clan members. So these are like three major pools that work in Bossfighters, and this is how it is. So you need to stake tokens with a lockup period to get access to these features.
okay, that sounds fair and bit also extensive. So it's not so really simple. I believe therefore your article, what you want to launch, will be very important for the community
Yeah,
to see the advantages. But what is very positive is I understand that it's not so that you spend some time on tokenomics. You spend some time on thinking about, okay, we are not simply creating a game, we are creating also a Web3 game where we have, as I told at the beginning, another players who just think about tokens but not the game. So sounds like perfect combination of Web 2 and Web 3, like these two things: play for fun but earn something in addition.
exactly,
Right?
exactly. So if
Either
you
or.
play well, if you get access to these tournaments, then you can actually earn something. Or if you're just a casual player, we can offer you an option like a free mint once in a while, and you spend some time like building this item, this weapon, customize it to your liking. You spend some time during the season, and then the season ends, and you decide, okay, I really like this stuff, but I know that I won't be able to get this kind of cosmetic items next season, and there'll be like an increased demand probably because the game always will receive like new players and the marketing will go on.
Mhm.
So why don't I mint this as an NFT and list it on the marketplace? So there is a very clear path how to onboard those Web2 gamers to Web3. So we don't need like to build any walls, any roadblocks for them. So it's just simple as that. Okay, play the game as you like, but here's a clear way for you to monetize. Maybe you won't make money with that. Maybe you will make a bunch of money if you like built a really rare legendary item, like if you're a really lucky guy. So that's how normal games work, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Cool. Thank you very much. I know that time is running, and I heard, Vadim, that you planned also to showcase us a game. But we also have community, and community have some questions to you, and they will also after the stream provide another questions. It will be like flow mode, right? Mike, do we have some interesting questions from the community? So
Yeah, sure. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for joining, Vadim, and it's really interesting. I was more like listener before, but now I joined also. So we have pretty much questions. both in Twitter and in YouTube chat. So yeah, I suggest to switch to the most interesting. So for example, I see the question from one of our very loyal community member. He is a long time with us, is Amar, and he's asking, you said that it is a free play to game. It is a free to play game, so I do not need to buy an NFT to start the game. Yeah. So in generally, he's asking what does the usual player needs to start the playing your game. Could you please clarify it?
Yeah, very good question. So the game is free to play. If you go onto our renewed website, there is like a big label here, free to play. So that's how you build a community. That's how you bring players. You make the game free to play. You build on top, and then you offer them options like cosmetic items, customization, player avatar, etc. So if you own an NFT, you will get instant access to our closed alpha that will be released this month. Uh,
Mm.
like so this is, and along with the NFT, it also acts as like some keys to unlocking these in-game features. So if you own an NFT, you actually don't need to stake tokens in the certain pools. So it like act because this is a limited NFT collection. We don't like bother about that much. So yeah, only 1,500 of those characters are released so far, and so having the character gives you a very nice look in the game and also unlocks you some in-game features like speeds up your progression and you get some cosmetic item airdrops once in a while and a lot of other features too. Just stay tuned for this article and everything will be explained there.
Wow. Very insightful answer. Very good. So very well prepared. One question from my side is because it's very important, very crucial for a gamify project to have strong marketing roadmap, strong marketing approach. And I see that you are very good prepared, speaking, etc. What else do you have in your as your weapon to run this market? Let's say to convince gamers to play
Yeah.
your game.
So dealing with this kind of project and in this market, it is a twofold strategy. So on one hand, we need to focus on Web3 community, crypto investors, and we can do this through KOLs. We can do this through partnerships. We partnered with a lot of NFT and GameFi projects. We're working on a program on the implementing other games avatars like that are built on Unreal Engine into our game. I think it would be really cool to see like an avatar from another game in Bossfighters where the boss can crush this puny guys. So this is like Web3 part of marketing. We have launch pads, we have KOLs, we have like lots of partnerships, and we can activate and we will activate them like especially before the IDO and once the fundraising it speeds up. But on the other hand, we need to focus on Web2 gamers, and for that we have an extensive network of like content creators. We actually plan to send a lot of keys for the alpha to content creators, Web2 content creators, VR content creators. We plan to run paid advertising campaigns on major VR websites, like more than 3 million visitors each month, unique visitors each month.
Mhm.
And the good thing about Web2 content creators, they don't ask money up front. They just want to have a key. They just want to play the game with their community. So this way we can increase our player base, and the game will be free for VR players. So we'll introduce players like in batches because we want to test the stability of the game, etc. So it won't be like, hey, 50,000 players jump into the game right now. So it will be a slow process and we'll be iterating. And also on the marketing side, this also be an iterating process.
Wow.
Yeah, sounds great. Thanks. But as we touched already the topic of VR, I also see some relevant question to this topic. It's from a user with the nickname Artistic World. So he is asking, And by seeking your website, I can see that Bossfighters is a VR game. I want to know, what does my PC need to be able to play it? Do I need VR glass and VR headset to play this game?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's the neat part of Boss Fighters. It is not a VR exclusive game. Like our main selling feature that we market right now is this competition between VR and PC. But you can play Boss Fighters on your PC. So it will be released on Steam in a closed alpha stage this month. Yeah, it's already 1st of September, so this month. But if you want to play as the boss, you need to have a VR. You need to have a VR headset.
Hmm.
So that's a cool point. So this is like competition between VR players and PC players, and we really want to emphasize on the VR marketing. So we know that VR community is super engaged. So they really like this kind of projects. They really, because there are not a lot of VR projects out there, but having this competition between PC and VR, we can greatly expand our player base. So yeah.
Not just an idea, you can also try to partner with some VR producers, maybe, because you are not simply VR game, you are VR and Web3 games. This is not, as you told, the first one, right, of your kind.
Yeah, we actually talking to ByteDance. This company owns Pico. So the Pico, it is a VR is a huge Chinese VR headset developer, a competitor to Oculus, and we have some ways to like talk to Meta, that they own Oculus, and we know that it has like 80% of the whole VR market. So one step at a time. So we'll definitely get there.
Good luck into this. Uh, very excited. And by the way, can you please remind us when you planned next events? So when you planned NFT sale and the IDO from time.
Yeah. So for the NFT sales, we actually want to synchronize it with the TGE event and IDO. So as we stated like way back, like a few months ago when we did our first mint, we don't want to offer those exclusive NFTs in a form of minting. Instead, they will be offered for those who stake tokens. So right after TGE, there will be a special pool where you can stake tokens. And if you stake tokens with a lockup period, you can get these unique character avatars that not only look badass, but also unlock different in-game features. So the second collection will be represented and will be introduced this way. So in terms of timing for the TG and the IDO, hopefully the market recovers like in October, November this year. Uh,
Everyone hopes. Let's see.
yeah, yeah, let's see how it goes. But yeah, this is like 2 point thing. So first, we need to have more token utility, as I mentioned, the staking pools, the direct usage of the token in the game, like through this functionality of like staking pools, uh, and also market conditions would have to be like much better to do the IDO. I don't think like anyone wants us to launch the token in a really bad market, and yeah, so
There is
we're in the same boat here.
there's a side story on this. Yes, we are in deep crypto winter, but nobody knows when the crypto winter will be over, how long it will stay, right? And not to launch a product only waiting up the end of crypto winter might be also something, to think about. Um, it's definitely not favorable to launch when you have big market drops. But if you have just stable side movement, then it's pretty possible because you will have then the product. And
Yeah,
once you have the product and you onboard the community and gamers for this product, you can scale after. So, but we will touch the base later about the details. I think in this matter, but
yeah, we'll see how it goes. But the plan is pretty much as you stated. So we want to launch the alpha, then transition to beta, and in the process, somewhere in between, we'll do like IDO, maybe a bit later, maybe a bit earlier. So it depends on the market. But first, the product is first, the gameplay first approach.
very
Mm.
good.
Yeah, thanks. So I checked the questions in the chat, and I see pretty big number of questions related to market platforms that you plan to use. So in general, people are curious if you plan to engage the game market platforms like Steam, Epic Games, Origin, etc. to attract more players. Could you please reveal at least a bit your plans in this way?
Yeah. So having a Steam page alone gives you almost 500,000 impressions for the new page, especially with the art tag. So we'll definitely be on Steam. There are some regulations on Steam regarding crypto projects, and this is uh, that's why we spent a lot of time like developing the architecture of the product. So the game is free to play. You can play it like normally as a totally normal game, but all the Web3 part actually is handled outside of the game client. So the game client, it works like in a read-only mode for the Web3 part. And for Web3 part, you need to log in onto the website, Bossfighters Hub, and link your wallet, and then you can do all operations transactions with your Web3 assets there. That uh, if you're using our account, and you have to use it our account, then game client reads all this stuff and displays like your NFTs, what you have in the game. So this is like the way to avoid this regulation problems. But the big issue here, Steam just wants their cut as well, and that's why we want to have like fiat payments and like normal, totally normal gameplay, free to play experience for those Web2 gamers. So it will be on Steam. Later, we plan to launch on EGS. Already talking to them. They have this self-publication program in beta right now. Talking to one of the guys from this team. And let's see how it goes after that.
Great. But the game will be not mobile ready, right? So it's browser and VR game.
It's not ready for mobile, but we have it on our roadmap. It just takes time to develop this. Like it technically needs to develop all this convert ports. So we'll do this like next year. This is on our roadmap, and most importantly, we want to have a standalone VR version for Oculus, for Pico, and other headsets. So you don't need a PC to play the game, and
Mm,
which opens up like a huge market of VR devices, like $400 basically. It's the cheapest gaming platform. It's cheaper than PS5, and you don't need even a TV for that.
great. You are all inside the game. The most cool thing. By the way, have you visited the world's biggest Gamecom days ago?
No, unfortunately not. I was really busy with all this stuff, and we're getting ready to the alpha. Uh,
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's a really great thing. So maybe one day we'll get there. Maybe next year.
So I was visiting it, and I have to say that I was quite disappointed from the products on in VR space. So it's like not very stunning, and I haven't seen any Web3 uh, VR game or startup. Therefore, let's say stage is yours, and you can really create new markets here.
Yeah,
And
that's what we're trying to do here. The market is really thin, and we don't need like huge amount of resources to penetrate the market. We can really establish something new for ourselves here, like a whole avenue for the market. And there's a really underutilized feature, this asymmetrical aspect of the gameplay. There's so much you can do here.
yeah. Unfortunately, guys, Vadim, time is running, and we have so many also questions from Twitter and from YouTube. But I know that you want to showcase us, right? And
Yeah, I think your community will be excited to see what we have uh, right
yeah,
at this moment, like before the alpha. Obviously, it will be still updated, but let me show you the
totally.
game. Okay, just give me a few minutes. I'm gonna turn on my VR headset. I'm gonna be the boss.
Okay, okay. So it will be cool. Let's see.
Yeah, so this is the VR headset I'm using. This is Pico Neo 2 device. Um, okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my camera
Mm-hmm.
for a moment and turn on my screen so you can see.